it's just this shape we want to talk about right now. Just that cube with the triangle on top of it. In Onshape, what we're going to do is we're going to design a blank of that shape is what I'm going to call it. Blank meaning like it's the building block. We're not looking at it kind of flattened out and in a flat pack diagram way. We're looking at it as like the 3D volume or shape that this design is going to take up when we're done with it. And then we'll do some Onshape magic to turn it into a flat pack. So I have my flower pot. And what I'm going to do very briefly here is I'm going to make a folder just so that I can start to organize stuff. And we're going to call this planter maybe. Now I have this right here. I scaled this down at some point in time to make it a little bit smaller. So I have my planner. It's in a folder. It's a little bit more organized. And what I'm also going to do, because this is like my example Onshape, I'm just going to duplicate this. And I'm going to call this greenhouse example. Now, I turned off my origin, my top, my front, and my right planes. I'm just starting with the actual planner and the drip plate. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to look underneath of it because I can start hopefully a new sketch on the bottom surface of my planner, and then everything else can kind of just get like built around it. You may have some questions about why I'm doing this, whether or not like they're going to be intersecting. Yes, they will, but don't worry about it. So we're going to start a sketch. I'm going to start on the bottom of my planner, and I am going to make a center point rectangle. Hopefully from the center point down here if it allows me. If it doesn't allow me the center point, then I'm just going to use project. I get that center point, and now I can make my center point rectangle. So if we look back at this design that I had a second ago, I'm starting with, and I forgot that little bottom piece here, I'll update this scan. I have some sort of rectangle down here, and then I have some sort of like triangular prism of some sort up on the top. So we're going to work on the rectangle on the bottom, and if I hop into Onshape back again, I can hit a dimension. I'm just going to make a dimension there, and then I'm going to set this equal to this. So hopefully we have a square now. And for sizing of this thing, I think about like 50 millimeters is going to be cool. So I got a 50 millimeter square. That's my base. I can hop back into isometric mode, and then real simple, I can extrude. Now it's extruding the wrong way, just because Onshape's trying to help us out. I'm going to flip the extrude, and I'm going to tell it to extrude to like 100, maybe 100. Do I want 100? That's a little too much, so maybe 75 millimeters. That's about right, and I need to click on this shape too. Alright, so it's confused. Yeah, it's freaking out right now, but we're not going to worry about that. We can actually turn off part 1 and part 2 because we've kind of figured out, hey, our plant's going to be here, our flower pot is going to be there. Here is the rectilinear shape that's going to take up the bottom of our A-frame house. So part 2, we want to talk about how to make that like roof, make that pitch roof. I can hit sketch right here, hit the side, go to the right, and I can use my best friend, use project, and a couple of lines will get us some sort of roof shape. Now you can like really get into this and try to make a pitched roof like a certain way. Like you could go like this if you wanted to, so it's just one side and then that's the vent maybe. I'm going to do a traditional A-frame, so this is what I'm going to be left with. I can hit extrude again, and boom, boom. I am going to actually tell it, instead of a blind extrude, I'm going to tell it to go up to the face, and this is the face I want to go to. It should automatically make it an extrude add. So I now have that A-frame shape. I have my blank is what I was talking about a minute ago. So when I was on here, it may have been kind of confusing. I'm saying you need to design the greenhouse blank in Onshape. This is the greenhouse blank. This shape right here. We've made the blank. We're done with that. So if I wanted to, again, just to kind of make it easier for y'all to see this later, I'm going to call this greenhouse blank. And I'm going to toss all this stuff in this folder.